Hi yogis, welcome. Today I'm going to do a flow which will be about 45 minutes, and I'll do it in two sections of Vinyasa Flow, and it's going to be based on our hips and our butts. We'll be doing some strengthening, some stretching. We will be doing a lot of sitting, so this will feel really, really good. And it is getting quite cold, so we will warm up today as well. So we'll begin in Shavasana, come down onto our backs. Allow the legs out wide, the arms out wide, palms facing up. Lengthen your neck, just roll the shoulders away from your ears, adjust your hips, find a nice comfortable position. We'll just stay here for about 6 or 7 breaths, just slowing everything down. I want you to feel like you're leaving behind whatever's been going on in your day, your morning, your afternoon, whatever time it is of the day for you. And finding your ujjayi breath. The next exhalation, just engaging the back of the throat, taking that long, steady out breath. We're going to slow the breath right down. Just feel the back of the shoulders, the back of the arms. Weighing heavily into the mat. And this time as you inhale, imagine you're breathing from your feet. Draw the breath in, fill up as much as you can. And again, that little hissing sound at the back of the throat. Take a full, complete exhale. And just for the next 2 breaths, I want you to imagine you're ironing out all the rough edges of your breath. So draw in your inhale, fill up, expand. And take a smooth, steady out breath. You're equalizing your out breath with your in breath. Again, drawing the breath in deep down into your abdomen and further down into your pelvis. And resting your tongue on the roof of the mouth, soften all the muscles around the face, the jaw, all the muscles alongside the spine, the back of your hips. Just allowing any tension to melt away. We'll do one more full cycle of breath. Take a nice big deep but soft inhale. Again, equalizing that with your exhale. Just allowing any tension, as I said, to melt away. Draw your awareness in. And your next inhale, just gently open your eyes, draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around, lifting the shoulders up. Give yourself a nice big squeeze, rock side to side. And as you exhale, just extend the left leg straight. Point the left toes, lower the left hip, right down. Drop the head back. And just rotate with your fingers interlaced around the right knee. Rotate that right hip around. Starting to gently loosen up. As I said, we're going to be working through some strengthening, some stretching around the glutes, the hips, and then stretching the right leg straight, drawing the left knee in as high as you can. Point left toes, it just helps you to wake up the muscles a little bit. So rotate 2 ways anti-clockwise and 2 ways clockwise. As you feel your back body beginning to soften, release, you can keep extending your neck, keep tucking your chin and drawing the shoulders away. And then draw both knees in, extend the legs straight, squeeze the thighs, press the lower back into the mat. So feel like you're really drawing the navel to spine. See if you can connect the whole lumbar spine into the mat. Begin to engage the quads, begin to lift the kneecaps, and then gently just raise the shoulders up, reach forward with the arms, sparkle the fingers, and just take 5 breaths here. Keep pointing the toes, but just gently waking everything up. 2, 3, 4, reach forward a little bit more, and 5. Just drop the head back, bend the knees, come into your happy baby. Take the outside of your feet, draw the ankles over the knees. And again, lengthen your neck, and draw the sacrum down, so you're drawing your tailbone down into the mat, and as you have your whole spine flat on the mat, you can feel the chest opening. And what you do is just take your elbows and see if you can bring your elbows on the inside of your knees. And I want you to inhale, I want you to squeeze the glutes and see if you can open the hips up a little bit wider by squeezing your glutes. And then using your arms as well to push the femur open here. So we're really working the glutes. And as you exhale, draw the knees in towards the armpits a little bit more. Keep breathing. Big breath in. Beautiful, and release. Just do a little bit of a core warm up now. I want you to interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows out wide, extend the left leg straight, and keep the right knee over the right ankle. I want you want to formalize your pose before we do this. So we want to point the left toes, point the right toes, see if you can glue your lumbar spine into the mat. And then lift the shoulders up, look at your left toe, and as you exhale, draw the right knee in. And then as you inhale, lengthen. We'll do 4 of these. Exhale in as high as you can. Inhale, lengthen, elbows out wide. Exhale in. Inhale, lengthen, exhale in. Inhale, lengthen, other side, left knee in as high as you can. Keep gluing the lumbar spine into the mat. Inhale, lengthen, exhale in. Inhale, lengthen, exhale in. Inhale, lengthen, exhale in. Last one, really high, beautiful. Inhale, lengthen, drop the shoulders back, draw the knees in, rock side to side. Full inhale. Just begin to draw the navel in, starting to engage, starting to warm up the core. And then I want you to take your hands behind the back of the knees. We'll do 3 rolls. We'll inhale up, lift the sternum, shoulders back, and as we exhale, we'll roll back onto our neck, and then inhale up. Just be careful of the back of the neck. Exhale, inhale. Hope you're on something nice and soft. Inhale and exhale. This time cross the ankles, grab the outside of your feet. You might still be a little bit chilly, so take it easy with your knees. Come into your tabletop position. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Engage the underside of your body and especially the core here. So push through the shoulders, spreading the fingers, pushing down through your thumb, your index and your pinky finger. Draw the sit bones together. Squeeze and lift the pelvic floor. And as you inhale, hold on to that as you lift the sit bones, dropping the navel down. And take the gaze slightly up. Or you can feel the abdominals there stretching out nicely. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round through the spine, push through the shoulders, drop the crown of the head down. We'll do 2 more of these. Inhale. And exhale. So we're articulating the spine. Really important if we've been sitting still for long periods of time. Inhale. And exhale. Really pushing through the shoulders, dropping the crown of the head down. Beautiful. Tuck your toes under. Spread your hands, lift the hips nice and high. Coming into your first downward facing dog. As you just straighten the arms and press to your thumb, your index, and your little pinky fingers. You're lighting up the outside of the arms, the side body. Push through the arms, lift the hips up nice and high, draw the navel in. As you inhale, breathe into the side ribs. And as you exhale, begin to push out through the back of the knees, drawing the heels down towards the mat. So you have a nice evenness between your hands and your feet, the outside of your feet parallel to the mat. Your tailbone should be neutral. See if you can draw the rib cage towards the thighs, the armpits towards the ankles. Another breath in. And exhale. Bend one knee, press opposite heel down to the mat. We'll just pedal from side to side. Beautiful. Slow, steady, but full breaths. We want to slow the breath right down and keep coming back to the Ujjayi breath. It really helps you to take long exhalations. So it's a little hissing sound at the back of the throat, oceanic sound. It really helps you to be present with your breath. Be really connected to your breath during the practice. That allows the body to open up, be soft. Beautiful. So bend your knees on your next inhale, look forward, and then just walk or step to the front of the mat. Take the feet about a hand distance apart. Come into your halfway lift. So fingertips on the mat, chest forward, long spine. If your fingers can't quite reach the mat, that's fine. Just come on. Take them to your shins. I want you to draw the shoulders back, open the chest, take the gaze about 1/2 meter forward. And then as you exhale, bend the knees slightly, press the rib cage in towards the thighs. And then grasp opposite elbows, Uttanasana, your forward fold here. I want you to press through the big toe knuckle of each foot here, so lifting the hips up nice and high. Keeping a little bend in the knees at this stage. And as you exhale, come onto the outer edge of both feet. And this really helps you to engage the muscles on the top of the thighs, the glutes, the hamstrings here. So as you inhale, maybe roll back onto the big toe knuckle here. Begin to engage your quads, really supporting any injuries in the hamstrings. So if you engage your quad, draw the chest away slightly. And then as you exhale, keep engaging those quads, pressing the ribs towards the thighs. Allow the head to be heavy and long. Keep pressing down through the big toe knuckle. Beautiful. Ooh, just supporting the back legs as you stretch the back of the legs, the muscles. Beautiful. So just release your fingers now. Come back into your halfway lift. Shoulders back, chest is open. And exhale. I want you to bend your knees, really ground through all 4 corners of your feet. Tuck your tailbone, kind of keep bending your knees, pushing the hips forward as you uncurl. Open the chest, shoulders back, take your arms overhead. And exhale. So we're going to warm up the glutes here. So we'll just keep the feet where they are, hip distance apart. I want you to really ground through all 4 corners of your feet, squeezing the quads, lifting the kneecaps, and really squeezing the butt here. So we're drawing the lower abdomen in, opening the chest, shoulders back. Take the arms alongside, slightly back, and I want you to come high on your toes. We're going to do some repetitions here, so really squeeze your butt. Imagine you have like a $100 bill between your butt cheek. And then as you exhale, sit back on your heels, drop the hips as you bend the knees, and draw the hands and the elbows together. So really sitting back on your heels. Inhale, coming all the way back up here. So really using the muscles in the legs here. Open the chest, shoulders back. And as you exhale, sit back down again. So really coming back onto the heels. We'll do 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. One more, coming all the way up onto the balls of your feet here. Squeezing that butt, drawing the navel in. And this time as you exhale, draw the palms of elbows together. Come all the way down. Come into your Navasana. So feet are 45 degrees. So your heel is on the mat. Your toes are on the carpet or on the floorboards. So just gently come into your Navasana here. Be gentle on the knees. Draw the outside of the tricep or the triceps on the inside of the knees. Palms together. Just draw them into your chest. Nice straight spine. Maybe tuck the chin slightly. What I want you to do now is squeeze the outer glute and open up your hips by squeezing the outer glute to the inside here. So if you squeeze, you can feel the hips opening a little bit more. And maybe now just take the arms away from the inside of the knees here. So squeeze the glutes, open up the hips, take 3 breaths like this. 1, 2, 3, 3, beautiful. Release the hands down. We'll step back and come through our vinyasa. So reaching forward, I want you to squeeze the quads, lift the kneecaps, tuck the tailbone. Reach over the fingers, elbows in, coming all the way down. Untuck your toes, point your toes. Lift the chest, shoulders back, elbows together. Exhale, tuck your toes under, come up onto your knees, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward, step, hop or jump to the front of the mat. Lengthen your spine. And exhale. Inhale, bend in the knees, grounding through the heels, tucking the tailbone, raise your arms overhead. Squeezing those quads, drawing in the low abdomen. So really engage the bottom part of the body here. Exhale, beautiful. Inhale. And this time as you exhale, draw the hands through heart center. Come into your forward fold. Release your palms to the mat. Come back into your Navasana. Feet apart, just heels on the mat, toes on the carpet or the floorboards, dropping the tailbone down. Again, draw your palms together, squeeze the outer glutes. We'll just do 3 breaths here. I want you to inhale, squeeze the glutes. And exhale, lifting the elbows up away from the knees. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands. Keep the right foot forward, take the left foot back here. So we're going to do a few repetitions to begin with, just to warm up. I want you to come onto the outer pinky toe of the right foot and onto the outer pinky toe of the left foot. So just be a little, maybe just bob around here a little bit, opening up the hip. So we're going to do some strengthening and some stretching here. So what I want you to do is you inhale, roll back onto the sole of your right foot. And as you exhale, roll back onto the outside of the right foot. So sink down here. Again, inhale, coming up. So you're high on your left toes as well. And then as you exhale, come onto the outside of your left foot, outside of right foot. So we'll do 2 more like this. Inhale, rolling back onto the sole of the right foot. Squeezing the inner right thigh, engaging. Exhale, roll onto outside of both feet. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, coming back up. Stepping back into your full plank here. Reaching forward, elbows together. Coming halfway down, Chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Open the heart. Shoulders back, fingers spread, gaze up. Tuck your right toes under. And then lift that left foot up. We're going to flip our dog. Take the left foot back behind your right. Open up. Gaze at the back of your left hand. Really feel the heart opening here. Breathe in. We'll take 3 breaths. 1. Gripping down through right fingers. 2. 3. Beautiful. Coming back here. We'll come all the way over. Take the left foot forward. And then we'll rise on up into our Crescent Lunge. Little bend in the right knee, pushing the hips forward, tucking the tailbone, opening the heart as you sparking the fingers. Inhale, lengthen. And then as you exhale, step forward into your Utkatasana, your chair pose. So big toes touching, heels apart, drop the hips. Just falling down a little bit here. We're going to come all the way down onto our sit bones, controlled here for 3 more breaths. 2, 3. Oh, that wasn't 2, that was, just coming into your Navasana here. So keeping the feet at knee distance, shoulders back in their joints, lifting the chest. We'll take 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Lengthening the legs. We're coming to Purdvattanasana. You have options here. The full posture is legs straight, hands behind your hips. You want to open the front of the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, and as you inhale, lift the hips up. You can bend the knees and come into your reverse tabletop. We'll take 3 breaths here. Keep pushing through the heels. If you're in reverse tabletop, keep pushing those hips high. 2, 3, dropping the hips down, coming back into your Navasana. And for 2, we'll come down into Navasana. 2, and we'll come all the way down onto our backs, bend the knees, and we'll prepare for bridge. With bridge pose, keeping the knees hip distance, or the knees are hip distance apart, we're going to squeeze through the inner thighs, shins are facing forward, roll the shoulders away, draw the sit bones together, push through the heels as you lift your hips high, keep squeezing your glutes or your butt, draw down through the inner thighs, interlace your fingers, lifting the hips up here so you're really bringing your hips and your pelvis into extension, making sure the weight of your body's on the shoulder, not the back of the neck, or on the back of the neck, but more on the shoulders here, the back of the arms. One more breath. Keep pushing through the heels, keep squeezing your butt. And then as you exhale, release. Coming all the way down, draw the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. And again, we're going to do those 3 rolls and we're going to do a jump through. So just taking the hands behind the back of the knees. Go up as you inhale, shoulders back. Exhale, inhale up. Exhale, inhale up. Exhale. This time as you come all the way up, cross the ankles, grab the outside of your feet. Do a little jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, open the chest, shoulders back, gaze up. Exhale. And book a beautiful bend your knees, look forward, step, hop or jump to the front of the mat, and we'll come back into our Malasana, dropping the sit bones down, elbows in front of your, or triceps in front of your knees. We'll take 3 breaths, lengthen your spine, and exhale. This time as you inhale, squeeze the glutes so you can take the elbows or triceps away, and exhale. So you're opening your hips, squeezing your glutes, inhale. And exhale. Release your hands. Take the right foot back this time. So you're coming into a lizard posture. Again, we're going to do the strengthening and the stretching. We're going to come into the outer side of the left foot and the outer side of the right foot. Just take a few moments here and you can bob around. And this time as you inhale, roll back onto the sole of your left foot, straighten the right foot. So squeeze the right inner thigh, your right quad, and then as you exhale, roll back onto both sides of the feet. So you can really feel yourself sinking deep into that left groin. Inhale, come back onto the sole of the left foot, straighten the right foot, and exhale. Really feel that left hip opening up. This for me is much tighter on the left side. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up and exhale. Ooh, inhale up. Step back into your high plank. We'll come through, down through Chaturanga, coming halfway down. Untuck your toes. Open your chest. Nice straight arms. Point your toes. And this time tuck your left toes under and flip your dog. Right foot behind. Open the chest. Gaze into the back of the right hand. We'll take 3 breaths here as you open. Then we'll lift the heart. 2, keep breathing. 3, beautiful. Take the gaze down, take the right foot forward. A little bend in that left knee as you come into your Crescent Lunge. So tucking the tailbone, opening the chest, sparking fingers, reaching up, triceps alongside your ears. Keep breathing, big inhale. Lengthen, and as you exhale, step forward into your Utkatasana, your chair pose. Drop the hips down, keep the arms alongside the ears if you can as you come all the way down onto your sit bones. Woo, and then come into your Navasana. Open the chest, just have your feet at knee height, shoulders back in their joint, keep breathing. 2. What we'll do is we'll lower all the way down to Navasana. Woo, and then come all the way back up. Beautiful. We'll take our options. You can come into the full posture, Purdvottanasana, legs straight, hands behind the hips, pointing the toes, coming all the way up as you lift the hips, or you can bend your knees coming into your reverse tabletop. Take the head back, keep pressing through the heels. We'll take 3 breaths.
2, 3, beautiful, drop back down into your Navasana, and then lower all the way down into your boat pose. Holding here, we'll just take 3 breaths here. 1, squeeze the inner thigh, squeeze the quads, draw the navel and squeeze the butt. 2, 3, drop the head back, prepare for bridge. Tickle the heels with your fingertips, knees in line with the hips. Draw the sit bones together, engage the pelvic floor, lengthen your neck, and as you inhale, push through the heels, lifting the hips up, interlace your fingers, roll onto the shoulder blades, back of the arms, lengthen the neck, tuck the chin. We'll take 5 breaths here. 1, 2, keep drawing down through the inner thighs, keep squeezing that butt, keep pushing through the heels. Feel the chest opening. 3, 4, 5. Release your fingers, roll the spine back into the mat. And then draw your knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, maybe rock side to side. And rather than doing 3 rollbacks now, we're going to cross the ankles, grab the toes, roll on up, hands on the outside of your knees, do a jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, open the heart, gaze up. Exhale. Beautiful, Adho Mukha. So just take the knees out wide, big toes touching, coming into your child's pose. Pressing the forehead down, lowering the elbows. Slowing the breath right down. If this is enough for you, you could stay here for a few moments. And then roll onto your left or right hip and come into your Shavasana for a few minutes or as long as you like. I hope you'll join me through the next phase of this flow. And we'll do a few more add-ons. So just reconnecting with the breath. Beautiful. So we'd like to carry on, just coming back up into a tabletop position. Spreading the fingers, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips high, straight arms. And as you inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and we're going to jump straight into our Navasana here. Elbows in front of knees or triceps in front of knees. Squeeze in the glutes. We'll do 3 breaths here. See if you can lift the elbows up. Squeeze. 2, 3. Drop the palms down. Keep the right foot forward. Take the left foot back. Roll onto the right side of the right foot. Roll onto the outside of your left foot. And as you inhale, calming back here. We'll just do one more. We're going to go a little bit more quickly now. Exhale to really sink into that right hip. And inhale, beautiful. We're going to take that right foot back here, come through your Vinyasa, low down to Chaturanga. As you untuck your toes, open the heart, straight arms, squeezing the quads, squeezing your glutes, drawing the lower abdomen in, and just tuck your right toes under. Flip your dog, left foot behind. Open up the heart, gaze at the back of the left hand. And then take the gaze down. And as you exhale, take the left foot forward. Raise your arms overhead into your Crescent Lunge. So really gripping down through that left heel, squeezing the inner left thigh. Inhale, lengthen. And then as you exhale, step forward into Utkatasana. For 3 breaths, we're going to lower down onto our sit bones. 2, 3, coming into our Navasana, and then coming down to our half Navasana, Ardha Navasana. Exhale, coming back up, coming into a reverse tabletop or into the full posture, Purdvattanasana, hands behind, squeezing down, really engaging through all the muscles on the front side of the body. Inhale up. And exhale, dropping the hips down, coming into your Navasana again, and then lowering all the way down into your Ardha Navasana, holding here for 3 breaths now, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the butt. Keep breathing, shoulders up, you're looking at your big toes, keep pointing the toes, your ankles are just above the mat. No cheating. Beautiful, coming into your bridge pose. So bending the knees, tickling your fingertips to the heels. Engage here. Before you come into bridge, always formalize your pose. Squeeze the sit bones, release the lumbar spine into the mat, lift the pelvic floor, hold on to that Push through the heels as you lift your hips high, opening the front of the hips here so you're bringing everything into extension, interlacing your fingers, rolling the weight of your body onto the back of your arms and your shoulders. Take 5 breaths here as you push through the heels, squeezing the glutes, keep opening the chest, lengthening the neck, keep breathing. 2, 3, keep pushing through those heels. 4 and 5. Well done. Release your fingers, roll the lumbar spine, or your lumbar spine, your entire spine into the mat. Draw the knees in, give yourself a nice big hug, maybe drawing forehead to knee, rocking side to side. Always counteracting our back bend. Now crossing the ankles, grabbing the big toes, roll back, and then inhale, coming forward, doing a jump back into Chaturanga. Open the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right leg back. We're going to do a little add-on here. Take the right leg back into 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, come back forward here. We're not going to come into lizard, but bring your right foot to the outside of the mat. So just come into a high lunge here. I want you to squeeze your left glute here. So lift the left kneecap and really push down or plug that right heel into the mat. So you're sort of drawing your right heel towards your left toe here, really engaging the hamstrings, the glutes, the inner thighs. Keep breathing. And then we're going to spin that back foot at 45. We're going to come into our extended side angle. So take your left arm up, extend it, draw the left shoulder blade back. Keep plugging that left foot into the mat, engaging the left quad. Keep breathing, lifting the pelvic floor, spinning the left rib cage up to the ceiling. 2, 3, then pushing your weight through your right heel, coming all the way up into your warrior 2 here. So nice wide stance. See if you can really feel like you're pulling back with your left hand as you lunge deeply into your right knee, gripping down through the arches of the feet, rolling the inner thighs out and up so you're really stable through the lower part of the body and you're nice and soft in the upper part of the body. Tucking the tailbone, keeping the lower abdomen nice and strong. Inhale and exhale, keeping that right front knee over the ankle. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. And as you exhale, we're going to come into Parsvakonasana, taking the right hand on the outside of the right foot, left arm up and over. Keep squeezing that left quad, keep lifting the left kneecap. And as you inhale, come back and reverse your warrior again. And this time we're going to come through to half moon. As we exhale, take the weight through the right foot, just floating here into your half moon. So take your right fingertips down, straighten both legs, roll left hip on top of the right here, drawing the left shoulder blade back, extending the left arm up. Keep breathing. This is really strengthening for your glutes here. You're really having to stabilize through your gluteus. This is why this is such a fantastic posture. Keep opening the chest here. Out into Chandrasana. Ooh, keep breathing. Keep pushing through that left heel. It really helps you to engage the quad to help you stabilize. Keep breathing. Keep opening on the inhale. Well done. And as you exhale, would you come into warrior 3? So start to square the hips. Maybe you may need to have both fingertips on the mat here for stability. That's absolutely fine. So I want you to grip down through all 4 corners of your right foot. Keep pushing that left heel back, squaring the hips. You're really engaging through the midsection. Shoulders back. All the energy is in your midsection here. Maybe bringing your hands into prayer, lifting. And then as you exhale, see if you can bend that right knee, draw the left knee in toward the chest. So just really integrating all the muscles in the right leg. Interlace your fingers around the left knee, drawing up as high as you can. Keep breathing. And what we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit of external and internal rotation, just a little exercise here. So once you feel nice and stable, you're really integrating through that right leg, tucking the tailbone nice and strong in the lower abdomen, hands on your hips. And as you exhale, externally rotate the left knee open here as high as you can. And then slowly draw the outer left ankle kind of up as you push the inner left knee down and kind of draw it back. So you're kind of lifting your foot from the outside and you can feel all the adductors working here. Drawing it back and then coming back to center. So we'll do that again. We'll draw the left knee up as high as you can and then externally rotate through using your abductors. And then drawing the outside of the left ankle up as you take the inside left knee down. Draw the back, so you're using internal rotation, using your adductors now. Squeezing those glutes as you draw it back and then coming back to the center. Well done. Ooh, and what you do now is you exhale, draw the left knee up, externally rotate your left hip again, and then take the outside of your left ankle, bend the right knee, drop that left ankle onto the right thigh. Of course, you're bending both knees, hands in prayer. See if you can just drop the hips down a little bit here, breathing. Try to be relaxed in the upper body. 2, 3, well done. Begin to straighten the right leg, draw that left leg back into your warrior 3 again. Straighten, push through the left heel, then as you exhale, bend the right knee, drop the left toes down, step back through your vinyasa, reaching for, coming down through Chaturanga, untuck your toes, open the heart, gaze up, exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. We'll do the last side now. Inhale, bend the knees, and we'll jump into our Navasana. Heels on the mat, both toes on the carpet or the floorboards. So again, we'll take 3 breaths, hands in prayer, triceps against inside of knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine, just tuck the chin slightly, and now squeeze the outer glutes into the middle, into the inside here. Then take the outer arms away, so lifting here, you're squeezing, taking 2 more breaths, you're squeezing your glutes, keeping those hips as wide as they were without using your arms. Inhale, keep squeezing, and exhale. Well done. 1 more squeeze, and exhale. Take the hands down, keep the left foot forward, take the right foot back, and we'll just do 2 reps here outside of both feet as you exhale. Hope if you're feeling like you're opening up a little bit more. Inhale, roll back onto both feet here. Exhale. Ooh, that feels a bit better. Inhale. Beautiful. Step back into a high plank, reach forward, Chaturanga, coming halfway down. Untuck your toes, open the heart, straight arms, point the toes, squeeze, draw in the lower abdomen, tuck the left toes under, flip your dog, right foot behind, open up, gaze at the back of your right hand, open the chest, and then as you exhale, take the gaze forward, and then take your right foot forward, little bend in the left knee, as you raise your arms up, keep pushing that pivot bone forward, keep squeezing the right inner thigh, so plugging down to that right heel, little bend in that left knee here, keep breathing, keep pushing the hips forward, and as you keep tucking the tailbone and drawing that right heel back towards the left toes, you can feel the upper body opening. You're almost coming to a little back bend. Beautiful. Step forward into your Utkatasana. Heels apart, big toes touching. Drop the hips down. We'll lower all the way down onto our sit bones. And then we'll come into our Navasana. And we'll lower down into our Ardha Navasana. Exhale up. Well done. And then coming into your choice, your full posture, Purdvattanasana, hands behind the hips. Lifting the hips up, or you can come into a reverse tabletop. Keep breathing. You're really using the muscles on the front side of the body. Exhale, coming back into your Navasana. And then we'll lower all the way down. Ooh, and just for a little bit of extra challenge, you can either stay here, palms facing up, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the navel, squeezing the butt here, and you can just roll side to side. Ooh, inhale.
exhale. One of my favorite core exercises. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Coming back to the center, bending the knees, preparing for bridge. Take the shoulders away from your ears, tickle your heels, make sure your knees are hip distance apart, roll the lumbar spine into the mat, squeeze the sit bones, lift the pelvic floor, and then push your heels on the inhale, lifting the hips up, interlacing your fingers, drawing the shoulders away, so all the weight of your body's on your shoulders, the back of the arms, for 5 breaths. 2, keep pushing through the heels. 3, keep squeezing the inner thighs as you lift. 4, and 5. Release the fingers, roll the spine, the whole vertebrae back into your mat. Oh, that feels really good. And then once your sacrum is down, draw the knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, rock side to side. Big inhale. And exhale. Cross the ankles, grab the big toes. Exhale, roll up, do a jump back through Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, gaze up, point the toes. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Last part of the flow here, left leg up, 3-legged dog. Spread the fingers, draw the shoulder blades away. And then as you exhale, come into a high lunge, taking the left foot on the outside of the mat, hands in the middle here. Again, we'll just do a little bit of strengthening here. I want you to squeeze the right inner thigh, lift the right kneecap. Beautiful. Keep breathing, keep drawing the left heel towards the right toes. Inhale. Exhale. So you're kind of drawing the inner thighs together. Inhale. And as you exhale, take the back foot, your right foot at 45, extended side angle, left hand on the inside of left foot, extend the right arm up. So you're drawing the right shoulder blade back. Keep squeezing that right glute. Keep anchoring the right foot into the mat as you spin the right ribs up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. And as you inhale next, come all the way up into your warrior 2. So you're in a really wide stance here. You're lunging deep into that left knee. You're lifting the right kneecap by squeezing the right quad. Tucking the tailbone, keep breathing. So making sure your shoulders are over your hips. And you're pulling back a little bit with that right hand here. Making sure your right hand is over the back of your right foot. And on your next inhale, we'll reverse our warrior. Stretching through the left side of the body. And as you exhale, Utthita Parshvakonasana, left hand outside of left foot, right arm up and over. Keep squeezing, keep lifting the pelvic floor, spinning the right rib cage up towards the ceiling. Inhale, coming back all the way to your warrior 2. This time, reverse your warrior as you inhale, stretching to the left side of the body. And then as you exhale, come into your half moon, your Ardha Chandrasana. Beautiful. Rolling the right hip on top of the left, extending the right arm up. You're squeezing both glutes here, rolling right hip on top of left. Maybe this time, seeing if you can balance here by lifting the left fingers off the mat. See if it's there. Take 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Slowly coming into your version of warrior 3. You can bring your hands in prayer. Just coming to square the hips. If you do manage to get your hands in prayer, or you can have your fingertips on the mat, try to bring all the engagement to the midsection here. Try to have the shoulders away from your ears. Keep breathing, keep lifting that right heel up. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly draw the right knee up into your chest. Well done, everybody. Stabilizing here, we're integrating all the muscles in the left leg here, drawing the right knee up. Pressing down through all 4 corners of your left foot, drawing the chest open, shoulders back, engaging the left glute here, squeezing that left quad. Beautiful. Now taking your hands on your hips, keeping the right knee high. We're going to come and do these little exercises. As we exhale, we'll draw the right knee up and then open up here, so you're externally rotating the right hip. And then as you come around as far as you can,
Start to lift the outside of the right ankle as you press the inside of the right knee. So you're doing this internal rotation, really engaging the adductors, drawing it back behind you, and coming back to the center. And then exhale again, right knee up. Open up, externally rotate that hip as wide as you can, and then as you go after you then press the inside of the knee in, outside of right ankle up, using your adductors, drawing it back behind. Ooh, well done. And this time as you exhale, draw the right knee up, externally rotate the right hip open, and then bend the left knee slightly, drop the outside of your right ankle on the left, just above the left knee on the left thigh. Draw your hands into prayer, we're in Shiva. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, draw the chest open, draw the shoulder blades away, bend the left knee, come a little bit deeper. We'll hold here for 2 breaths. 1 and 2. Beautiful. Gently take that right ankle off. See if you can come all the way back into your warrior 3 with your hands in prayer. Otherwise, release your fingertips onto the mat. You're doing really well, flexing that right foot here. Take the chest open, drop the fingertips down now. Bend the left knee, step back, come back through your vinyasa. Drawing or rolling forward over the fingertips, keeping the hips nice and high. Chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done, everybody. We'll take a nice little stretch to finish with now. Take the right leg back into your 3-legged dog. And then as you exhale, come through into your pigeon. Right knee on the outside of your right wrist. Fire that left leg back. Open the chest, arms out wide. Ooh, really drawing the lower abdomen here so you're nice and engaged. Make sure the right foot is flexed and keeping the integrity of the right knee. And as you exhale, gently on your fingertips, walk forward and ease into your sleeping pigeon. We'll take 5 breaths here. Pressing the forehead into the mat. And just softening the spine, softening all the muscles around your face, your jaw. Slowing the breath down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Just gently coming up now. We're going to come into this 90-90, which is a really great way just to give, or strengthens the core, but also gives the hips a nice deep stretch. So you're having your foot flexed, your right foot or your right shin should be parallel with the front of the mat. You will press the outside of the right knee into the mat. Make sure your knee is in line with your hip, and the same with your back. So it's almost like an S shape or a number 5. So flex both feet, make sure ankle, knee, hip are all nicely lined up. See if you can center your sternum over the front of the right shin or as close as you can. So lift the spine rather than twisting the spine into this position. Fingertips on the mat, open the chest, shoulders back, press the outside of the right knee. Just position yourself here, really engage the core here. You need to be really strong in the lower abdomen. You're really supporting the base of the spine here as you lift. And then as you exhale, I want you to lift your fingertips off the mat and then slowly press for 5. Press the outside of the right knee into the mat for 4, for 3. Keep pressing the outside of your knee, no fingers down yet, for 2, for 1, and have your fingers on the mat there. Just gently fold over the front of the knee. Ooh. And take another few breaths. 2, 3. Beautiful. Come up onto your fingertips and just draw the left leg around. So you're in a cross-legged square shape, flexing both feet. Have your feet not too crossed. Just don't draw them too close and have them out a little bit further. You should be feeling nice and open now. We'll do a little forward fold here, arms overhead, grounding through your sit bones. And as you exhale, push the sit bones back, chest forward, elbows beginning to bend. Place your palms down and just poke your elbows into your shins or just below your knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding forward. We'll take 3 good breaths here. Finding that ujjayi breath is helping you to release deeply into this lovely hip opener. Let's relax through the back of the shoulders. And next inhale, gently coming up. Okay, we'll just bring the knees up, we'll draw them into our chest. Take your hands around the outside of your feet, arms around the outside of your knees, hands down. We'll do a little jump back here, thrusting those legs back into Chaturanga. Untuck your toes, open the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Last side, left leg up, 3-legged dog, spreading the fingers and drawing all those sheets of muscles away down towards your tailbone. As you exhale, pigeon left side, left knee behind left wrist, fire that right leg back. Flex your left foot, keeping or looking after that left knee. Arms out wide, open the chest, shoulders back, point the right toe. Exhale, coming into your sleeping pigeon. Just walking the fingers here, be really gentle with the knees, which tend to get a little bit stiff in this colder weather. So pressing the forehead into the mat, arms out in front, relax here, take 5 breaths. Again, soften through the jaw. Maybe resting your tongue on the roof of the mouth. Stretching out the left glute. 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Gently lifting the forehead, pushing with your hands coming up, and we'll come into this 90-90 on the left side. And for me, this is a lot harder. I'm so much tighter on the left side. So again, flexing both feet, pressing the outside of your left knee into the mat, your knees in line with your hip, your ankle in line with your knee. So you're like a number 5 here. So just take a few minutes here. Try and center your sternum over the middle of your left shin. Arms out wide, up on your fingertips. Just take a few moments here to feel the posture before we lift our hands and come all the way forward. So begin to engage the lower abdomen, lift the pelvic floor, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen, shoulders back, chest open. Press the outside of the left knee into the mat, lift the fingers, and for 5, reaching forward for 4, for 3, keep the fingers off the mat, for 2, for 1, oh, well done, coming forward, folding over that left shin, that left knee for 5 breaths, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently inhaling, coming back up, pushing on your fingertips, drawing the right leg around in front in your cross-legged position. As I said, heels just out a little bit further, flexing both feet here in a square shape. Ground through the sit bones, raise your arms overhead, shoulders away, and as you exhale, push the sit bones back, chest forward, elbows bent. Place the forearms, the hands on the mat. Just do a reset here, lengthen the spine, flex both feet. And as you exhale, poke your elbows into the shin or into just below the knees. You come into this lovely stretch. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Inhale, coming all the way up. Stretch out the legs, give the knees a little bit of a shake, bringing the blood flow back. And then gently come down onto your back. Arms out wide. Take the legs apart. Allow the feet just to flop out to the side. Shift the hips away. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Extend your neck, tuck your chin. Have your arms out wide, your palms facing up, and take some clearing breaths. As you inhale, feel like you're drawing the breath up from your feet right to the crown of the head. As you exhale, tucking your chin a little bit more, just taking that slow breath out. Resting in your final Shavasana here. You can take as long as you like to feel the whole back body releasing, weighing heavily into the mat. integrating the whole front body into the back body, feeling the back of the head or your head heavy, the back of your neck, your throat, the back of your arms and your shoulders. Feel the weight of your wrists, your fingers, all the muscles alongside your spine, back of hips. Your thigh bones are heavy, your shins, your ankles, your toes. And just feel the belly softening as you soften your breath. Every muscle from the crown of your head right down to your toes. Softening, lightening. Staying here for as long as you like, enjoying a few minutes of bliss. And before you drift off, I'm just going to read a little excerpt from Michael Stone. Just to see you on your way till next time. So this is a chapter on prana, breath, energy. And Michael Stone talks about how the practice of yoga postures invites us into the domain between, or literally right in between, the psychological and the physiological components of conditioned existence. He says, notice in yoga postures how certain physical sensations bring with them specific mental formations and emotions. So the more we start thinking, the more agitated we become. Past impressions, associations, and memories are always lying dormant alongside physical sensations. So history is always falling in our lap. He says we live in a culture that tries endlessly to find more and more pleasure, thinking that sensory gratification, every sense organ, would lead us to happiness. We end up caught in numerous shopping options. We're consumers of instant gratification. And the effect psychologically and physically is not only relentless, but also a mind and sense organs that are clogged up with sensory overload and the inability to take in anything with clarity. Life becomes about producing and consuming. So just beginning with a few simple movements and breathing, we return the mind-body to a less chaotic pace. And then sense organ by sense organ, open up the channels and eventually our heart, so that our perceptual faculties are less polluted. And then we can breathe again, and then we can be silent. And everything is crafted out of silence. The inhale is born out of silence, and the exhale returns us to silence. So thank you for practicing with me today. Enjoy your Shavasana.